Well, actually, at least this part's different. Just then Ava grabbed hold of him and threw him to the ground. Sorry. What the? Doctor, use this chance to escape. Understood. She tore the pistol from his grasp and held it to his head. I've captured the imposter. You sly bitch. Claude sprinted towards the nearest maintenance shaft, and unfortunately she realized too late the shaft was actually nothing more than an oversized air duct. She grabbed the nearby blowtorch and burned the vent open and tried to squeeze herself in. Unfortunately, she proved too top-heavy to fit through the gate. I can't fit it, Captain. Suck in your boobs, you idiot. Fucking... Yep. Shields looked in panic as Marine started their position. I knew he should have gone on a diet. Claude squeezed her boobs flat and managed to wriggle through the gate. She vanished in the darkness as she crawled deeper into the air shaft. Ava led Shields down the catwalk into the floor of the hangar at gunpoint. Don't worry, we'll just have to count on Claude pulling through. The Marines handcuffed Shields as Ava turned him in. A familiar face walked into the hangar. End of the line, prototype. Commander, you damn well have a good explanation as to what you're doing with him and how he escaped the brig. Captain, despite her cool exterior, Shields and Ava was currently racking her brain for a logical explanation for her actions. But before she could think of one, more bad news approached. It appears someone used the commander's security credentials to unlock the imposter's cell. Of course, I'm not accusing the commander of setting the prisoner free, but... Captain, the chief speaks the truth. Shit, so she couldn't think of anything. It was I who set the Kato Shields free. In fact, I believe his words are the truth, and it is the chief engineer who is the true spy. You must revoke her security clearance and detain her, or else you may very well disable this entire ship right now. I don't know what you're trying to pull here, prototype, but to think you've actually managed to turn my own executive officer against me. Commander, you are effectively relieved of your rank and your duties. You are to be confined for the duration of this operation. Take both of them in, boys. Shit. I've got to do something drastic. Alright, I admit it. I already am a prototype. You've got me. But I'm willing to talk. I know everything they're planning. You'll need my help to win this battle. Oh. We'll see about that. With that, a Marine shot him with a stun round. And there we go. Shield's world faded to white as 50,000 volts of alternating currents coursed through his muscles, sending him tumbling to the ground. The pair of Marines escorting him dropped Shields to the floor upon arriving at the front of the bridge, making him tumble flat on his face. He looked up to see... Yep. I see you finally regained consciousness. Kato. Shields. Once again, he faced himself, his greatest nemesis. Shields tried to throw himself at his past self, but found that he was completely bound at the foot and wrists. He only struggled in futility against his captor. You son of a bitch. I see you can turn my XO against me. Shields looked around to see Ava standing beside him, now in handcuffs as well. Captain, you're making a mistake. That's still the real Kato Shields in front of you. You still have one last chance at the prototype's plot. I implore you to take it. Commander, no. Ex-Commander. After all we've been through, you disobeyed my orders, working behind my back. We're through. Do you think anyone's called you my friend? Shit, he's completely lost his mind. Just what kind of lies have Chigar been feeding him the past couple of hours? For all intents and purposes, he's fallen completely under the prototype's control. There's no hope of ever convincing him now. Tuh. Captain, you are blind. The Kato Shields chosen on the floor is now a far better captain than you ever are. He has worked the past 2 days to thwart the prototype's plot while you have done nothing but play according to their script. You must come to your senses. This is your final chance. Enough! I will not be questioned on my own bridge. Burning embers glowed inside the Shield's eyes. Blech. No, it's just like when... Right, yes. Sweat dripped down Shield's face as he heard his past self rave in madness. He closed his eyes. Yes, this was the me of the past. A fool, a dangerous fool. Just then he heard Hikari's voice in the comm. Asaga's gone berserk! Oi, Captain, what are we supposed to do? Are we actually going to shoot her down? The battle's already begun. No. Has Claude gotten into position? Was our plan a success? Captain, your orders. Charge your Sunrider's Trinities. Lock onto the Blackjack. Shit, don't do it. Shields! Watch me, Captain. One day, you're going to realize I was right. Trust in Asaga, she's right. Claude, use your grav gun to stop Asaga. Tee-hee-hee. Sorry, Captain, but I'm afraid your other versions managed to outmaneuver you. Claude's face appeared on the main monitor. I won't be listening to your orders anymore. Shields sighed in relief. Claude, you made it. Of course. Fooling my other self was a piece of cake. Now, this is the pivotal moment. What is your order? It's too late for second thoughts now. Getting a saga to kill Chigara first really is the only option. Let a saga through and let her destroy the Liberty. Alright, if that's your choice. What? You! The other shields grabbed him by the scruff of the throat and lifted Shields off his feet. For a moment they faced off against each other in front of the bridge, their backs illuminated by the giant main monitor, man to man. Shields gritted his teeth. This would be where he would finally defeat his past self and rewrite the future. He would dirty his hands in the process by murdering Chigara and turn a saga into a murderer, but it was a small price to pay. The security of the entire galaxy hinged on this moment. Fire on! At that moment, Ava broke free of the Marines and headbutted their shield's gut. Hold your fire. The captain's gone insane. As executive officer, I'm taking command. Silence! You will obey me. I am the ship's captain. A captain corrupted by an enemy spy. You are no longer worthy of this ship. Whatever lies the chief fed you, you must snipe out of it. No, at this rate, Chigara will. The Marines could only dart their eyes from the captain and the commander of the ship, at a complete loss as to whose orders to obey as the two of them struggled on the floor. The blackjack sailed past the Bianca, the past now altered. Yeah! Captain, what the hell's going on? Asaga's putting way too much stress on the blackjack's engines. It's like she's gone insane. At this rate... Suddenly, the two of the blackjack's tail thrusters exploded. Somehow, Asaga managed to maintain the blackjack's course, setting it spiraling towards the Liberty. What? Oh no. A realization dawned on Shields. From this point on, he had no idea how events were going to unfold himself. Just what was going on. Ha ha ha! Chigara, we're both going to die together. Shields' blood went cold. No. No! This isn't what I thought would happen. Captain, I've done it. I loved you. This is for the best. Now everyone will be safe. Shields collapsed to his knees as the blackjack collided into the Liberty, vaporizing both riders in a massive fireball. No, Saga! The Marines finally snapped out of their confusion and rushed to detain Shields and Ava, but it was already too late. The timeline had been rewritten. A time paradox now triggered, the entire universe collapsed. Shields looked at the twisted debris of the blackjack on the main screen as the world faded to white. I didn't mean to kill you too. I'm sorry. But the galaxy is saved now. You saved everyone, even though you had no idea. In the end, he had decided he would sacrifice the lives of his family to fulfill his mission, and this was the logical outcome of that decision. He would have to simply live with the knowledge that he had sent Asaga and Chigara to their deaths. Shields hung his head and closed his eyes as he faded into nothingness. This is the end. It's finally over. This is the price we paid for peace. Yep. Yep. Well, at least there aren't any other, any other casualties from that bullshit. Oh boy. Shield and Ava stood in front of Asaga's grave. While a more grand memorial was constructed back at Ravia Prime, the two of them had decided to make a small shrine of their own beside the resting places of their families. Shields knelt down and placed a package of the spiciest curry he could find on the planet in front of Asaga's altar. Asaga, it's been 2 years since we liberated Sarah. Everything happened the way you said. Chigara really was a spy. I should have listened to you sooner. If I had done that, then you would still be alive today. In the universe which emerged from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s mission through time, S.H.I.E.L.D. had chosen to believe Asaga's suspicions that Chigara was a prototype. While they worked together to thwart their prototype's plan to commit a mass assassination after the battle, Asaga had endeavored to stop Chigara on her own. In the end, Asaga collided with the Blackjack and the Liberty during the battle, killing both of them. Thanks to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s warning Fontana about the virus prior to the battle, the combined fleet and the Allied Pact the Allied Pact fleet then managed to defeat the Nightmare Ascended, upon which the remaining Pact Loyalist forces unconditionally surrendered. Newly instated Venusaur S. Fontana, that's such a nice ring, declared his intent to sign a peace treaty with the Solar Alliance, wherein the Pact gave up all military claim to the Neutral Rim, bringing an end to the war. Ultimately, they lived in a mostly happy future, where the billions of lives which would have been lost had the massacre took place were spared. However, the guilt of sending Asaga to kill Chigara would weigh on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s heart for the rest of his life. In the end, I used Asaga to murder her best friend, who in turn was simply being mind-controlled by the prototypes. Neither of them deserved their fates. The peace was won with their blood. As he stared at Asaga's tombstone, Shields wished with all his heart that it had been his blood which had been paid for their victory. In the end, his heart was ravaged with regret. I should have not been the one to die. It was my responsibility. I was a coward. I sent my pilots to die when preventing the massacre was my mission, not Asaga's. Ahem. Ava knelt down beside him. Kato. Her death saved the lives of Admiral Gray as well as a dozen other Alliance officials, and even that pales in comparison to the billions she saved by preventing an all-out war between the Alliance and Pact. I cannot imagine a better hero's death than that. In the end, I think she'd be proud. She will always be remembered as the savior of the galaxy. No. The real reason why she died wasn't that. It was because I never returned her feelings. Indeed, he was haunted by the guilt of having had ignored Asaga's affection to the very moment of her death. It was a truth which only Shields knew. Asaga had not died a hero's death, meaning to sacrifice her life for the galaxy. She died in sorrow, her mind torn apart by her awakening and her heart broken from her unrequited love. But Shields would never tell anyone the truth. Instead, he would take it to his grave, so that Asaga would forever live on, larger than life, as a mythic war hero. That was the only thing he could do for her now. He had made his decision. He would keep marching forward. That would be his punishment for sending 2 of his pilots to their deaths. No matter what, we'll keep living. Regrets are here to make us stronger. In the end, we can't redo our past. He stood and saluted to Asaga's grave. Ava joined in with a crisp salute of her own. Shields faced Ava. The Sunrider sets port tomorrow at 0800 hours. Commands received reports from the Alliance that entire colonies have begun to vanish near the Namasini Abyss. We ought to join the Alliance task group and investigate. Let's move out. Sir, I once again look forward to being your XO on this new voyage. Shields left the graveyard with Ava behind him. His mission was not yet over. With that, Captain Kato Shields and Commander Ava Crescentia returned to space. Maiden suicide. Well, you managed to prevent the massacre, but both Asaga and Chigar ended up dead. It doesn't look like you managed to score with your childhood friend either. Teehee, too bad, Captain. And if you're feeling too lonely, I, Claude Trilio, shall more than make up for your coup d'etat XO. That is, if you can find my ending. Oh, they fucking did that, bitch. Stumble upon it first try. You're easy. All this happened because you couldn't convince the other Kato that Chigar was a prototype. Try again, and this time confront the other Kato shown to the hollow you got from sickbay. Right. Well, now that I've killed Asaga twice because she was driven insane by unrequited feelings, I guess it's finally time to actually go through with her route. Fucking finally. Kind of poetic in that sense. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in Asaga's route.